Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Ashley Lehue.
And I'm Olivia McClellan. Thank you so much for joining us.
The same-sex marriage debate has been at the forefront of many political discussions for the past several years and has been marked by multiple court rulings. In October of 2013, New Jersey's Supreme Court refused to block a lower court's decision to allow same-sex marriages, becoming the 14th state to do so. Hawaii and Illinois passed legislation allowing the marriages in 2013. New Mexico and Utah also ended the year by allowing marriages, but only after a court decision. In 2014, court decisions also mandated that Oklahoma, Kentucky, Virginia, Texas, Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, and Florida recognize that same-sex marriage, though some of these states are awaiting further court action before officially allowing the marriages. Only one court has recently ruled in favor of a ban. U.S. District Judge Martin Feldman in Louisiana did so on September 3rd of this year. A court ruled against Indiana's ban earlier this year, allowing a less than 3-day period where the marriages were allowed in the state. However, the governor's office has been fighting that ruling, leaving those marriages up in the air until this morning.
The United States Supreme Court started its first day in session by rejecting to hear specific cases, including some from Indiana. The U.S. Supreme Court kicked off its new session today by declaring it is staying out of the same-sex marriage debate, at least for now. The High Court decided not to review appeals on same-sex marriage victories in 5 states: Virginia, Utah, Oklahoma, Indiana, and Wisconsin. The decision clears the way for same-sex marriages to proceed in those states. They had been on hold while the appeals were pending. The justices did not give a reason for rejecting the cases.
County clerks around East Central Indiana, like same-sex couples around the state, remained in the waiting game this morning. The U.S. Supreme Court rejected appeals from Indiana and several other states to challenge federal court rulings that found state bans on same-sex marriage unconstitutional. Today's decision made same-sex marriage legal in Indiana. The state now must recognize same-sex marriages conducted in other states as well. The Marion County Clerk will immediately issue licenses. The state has no recourse to challenge the Supreme Court decision at the time. This could change if one of the federal appeals courts in another state finds the ban legal. After the ruling, Pence said, "While it is disappointing to many that the Supreme Court has chosen not to hear arguments on this important issue, under our system of government, people are free to disagree with court decisions, but we are not free to disobey them."
More on this subject, we come back to the desk here at Ball State University to take a look at its local impact. Good evening, I'm Payne Horning, political correspondent for NewsLink Indiana. I am here with Christy McCulley and Brian Robbins, who are members of, or the president and vice president of Ball State's Spectrum Group, which is the LGBTQ Straight Ally Plus organization here on Ball State's campus. So today this decision, or lack thereof, seemed to favor your group. Are you pleased with the results from today?
Definitely.
So what exactly did you expect in this upcoming session? Obviously with Indiana, it's been kind of a roller coaster this year, as the U.S. Federal District Court in June said gay marriage is now, that ban is illegal, and then there was a stay on that, saying you can't get married. So, and then, of course, in September, there was the decision by the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals that said gay marriage is legal here in Indiana. So, I mean, it's been very tumultuous for your group. I mean, what's that been like as an organization that represents people directly affected by these decisions on campus?
It's been kind of very disappointing that it's been so up and down, because we want to keep our members updated, but it's hard to do that when we're being told that it's changing as soon as we're updating them on everything. Plus, with everything during the summer, it was hard to do it as well, so we did a lot of social media.
Did anyone in your group benefit from these decisions to strike down Indiana's ban on same-sex marriage?
Actually, our past president did get married in June. when the ruling was first issued.
From the federal district. Right. So obviously moving forward, it's very gray, it's very uncertain. We're not exactly sure what's going to happen or what will come next. But as of now, in the state of Indiana and across the U.S., 30 states in total, same-sex marriage is legal. So what does the future look like for your group and for your fellow allies across the nation?
I think everything looks good. I mean, we're now at 30 states, that's more than half. And I don't think anything is going to result of it to where it's going to be taken back like it's been before. I think this is where it is and this is where it's going to stay.
So you feel hopeful for the future? Christy, what about you?
Definitely. I definitely feel hopeful for the future.
And as the president of Spectrum, when your group meets next, what are you going to tell them and what will be included in that message?
Well, we're just going to keep them updated with the most current ruling, and we plan on doing a little bit of celebration on Friday.
So we're popping the champagne?
Unfortunately not champagne, but we'll have some apple cider or something. But Friday we'll have our National Coming Out Day event in the University Green from 7 to 9. We'll celebrate National Coming Out Day, which is on Saturday, and then we'll probably end with a celebration of this.
All right. Well, NewsLink Indiana tonight did reach out to the Ball State College Republicans, and they declined to come onto the program and release a statement about the issue. So, well, weather this weekend, it's been cold and we're used to those fall temperatures. Are they here to stay? What can we expect as homecoming weekend is right around the corner?
Well, weather is definitely here to stay for fall. I know it was kind of wishy-washy there for a minute, but fall is here to stay for sure. Today our high was 65 and a low of 43. We're right on average for the most part for fall, and that's definitely going to be staying around for a while. Current temperatures here in Muncie is 56 degrees with some light winds southwest, not too bad, with a low dew point at 43, so relatively dry conditions. Now looking around the state, 54 in Shelbyville, 52 in Indianapolis, 53 in Terre Haute. Looking forward to the headlines of tonight, Columbus Day forecast for next Monday for that holiday, rain chances in the middle of the week, and a cool weekend up ahead. That's your weather. Back to you.
All right, and NewsLink would love to thank the two representatives from Spectrum for coming on the show tonight and having a little interview. It's exciting that they're going to talk about their celebration on Friday. Yeah. So same-sex marriage isn't the only battle Governor Mike Pence is on with the federal government. We'll have the full story for you when we come back.
And dialing 911 is not the only way to get help in an emergency. We'll tell you what counties around Indiana are doing to keep up with changing trends. Stay tuned.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
I don't know what's happening. Start a new chat. What did I do? Okay, wow. It's so weird.
Hey! Hi!
Oh my gosh. Hi! God, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm so nervous. Gia, you're so big. Come closer to the camera. Wait, now you're in my face. That was so good.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. NewsLink brings you the quick question of the week. Let's see what students have to say about same-sex marriage licenses.
Same-sex marriage here in Indiana. So I thought it'd be a great idea to go around campus and ask people what they thought about it, as well as how they think it'll affect their community.
I don't think, in all honesty, that it's really going to affect anything. I mean, you might have a rise in marriages, but I don't see the issue really in legalizing same-sex marriage.
Okay, so same-sex marriage, I mean, if it gets legalized, same-sex couples are going to be able to get married. That's really all that matters to me. I think that everyone should be able to have the right to get married no matter their sexual orientation. what matters at that point is just their own family life, and you don't see anyone trying to break up heterosexual couples because of their religion. So I mean, why should that matter for homosexual couples?
I personally don't understand why people get so upset about it and why they don't want them to do it. They're not hurting the community, they're not hurting themselves. It's their personal lives, so I say why not? I have nothing against them.
Okay, I think that same-sex marriage in Indiana is a great thing. I'm from Illinois, and it's already legalized there. So, I mean, I believe that it'll do positive things. I think that younger generations will see that it's okay to be who you are, and it'll be lovely to see how it affects everything here, especially on a college campus where there's already so many social organizations and clubs. So I think it will have a really positive impact, and I'm really, really excited for people in Indiana who can finally be married.
For your quick question, I'm Brittany Dean, NewsLink Indiana.
Thanks, Brittany. NewsLink Indiana will have more on the same-sex marriage as the debate continues.
Differences remain between Governor Mike Pence and the federal government today. They were unable to reach an agreement on Pence's proposal to expand Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act. Rather than expanding Indiana's regular Medicaid program, Pence wants to implement a version of the Healthy Indiana Plan. This high-deductible plan is designed to give customers a savings account incentive to make smarter healthcare decisions. Indiana hospitals will lose an estimated $1 billion in 2016 if the Medicaid program does not expand, according to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Pence said, "Our administration will continue in good faith regarding our proposal to cover more low-income Hoosiers the Indiana way."
The first national memorial honoring disabled veterans opened in Washington, D.C. President Barack Obama helped dedicate the memorial Sunday in a special ceremony. The American Veterans Disabled for Life Memorial honors those alive and dead, as well as veterans seriously injured while serving in the military. It features walls of granite and glass and a star-shaped fountain with a ceremonial flame. It is the first memorial designed to honor the living. The memorial honors nearly 4 million disabled veterans.
Federal officials seized a total of 27 gallons of date rape chemicals passing through the Indianapolis International Airport during the month of September. The intoxicant, called GBL, came from various countries, but most destinations were located in the United States. GBL is primarily used in pesticides, elastic fibers, and pharmaceuticals, but is sold illicitly to help with bodybuilding, fat loss, and baldness. The drug is also used to make a person incapable of resisting advances, which is how it has earned its date rape nickname. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the Indianapolis branch is very successful in the seizure of illicit shipments.
Calling 911 is not the only way to get help when in an emergency. People passing through Delaware, Jay, Henry, and Blackford counties can now contact 911 via text message. Although the Public Safety Initiative gives people the option to text, advocates are trying to educate people that calling is still the best option. This service initially launched in May, but the statewide 911 board is hoping to take its public safety efforts to the next level during the homecoming season. The board said it's pushing college campuses to educate students about the service. If you do text 911, remember to include your location information. Do not text slang or abbreviations. Do not use attachments, pictures, or videos, and realize that it might take longer for someone to respond to the emergency.
Well, will this warm weather continue, or will cooler fall temperatures move in?
NewsLink Indiana weather is next.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. You know, Olivia, homecoming week is finally here. I've been looking forward to it for so long, and I just really hope the weather, pans out well.
Yeah, it's kind of been chilly, so I'm hoping I don't need to bring out my jackets for the game this weekend, but I will if I need to. So, Ellen, what can we expect for the weather this weekend?
Well, you might not like me if it comes to the weekend, but fall is here, so we can't be surprised about that. But currently it's 56 outside here in Muncie with a low dew point of 43, so that means it's a little bit drier, with winds from the southwest at 8 miles per hour. Now looking around the state, currently it's 53 in Lafayette, 50 in Bloomington, and warmest 56 here in Muncie. Now if we look at tomorrow, it's going to be partly cloudy with some rain, with a little bit more gustier winds from the west-southwest, about 15 miles per hour, so make sure you have a jacket to stay warm and to stay dry. Now we look at a surface weather map for what we had today and for tomorrow. This low pressure system and this cold front is going to bring in some cooler temperatures. But for Wednesday, we're going to see this high pressure system come in to bring clearer skies and clear out that rain we've been experiencing for the past couple of days. See, looking at the radar nationally at the moment, here's this rain from this cold front that was in the area. Now let's look at precision cast to see what we can expect for the next couple of days. So for tonight, it's going to be mostly patchy clouds for the most part, not really any kind of rain issues. But tomorrow morning around 7 a.m., where this rain will be moving into our area and continue to be patchy all through Tuesday. But Wednesday, things are going to clear up and have beautiful clear skies throughout the whole area as the high pressure system moves in. So nice, pretty skies. Thursday is when we have our next chance of some rain and precipitation. This is coming from Tropical Storm Simon to bring in some extra moisture into our area. Now, if we look at what is going to happen, this low pressure system is going to move through this cold front. Here's that high pressure system for Wednesday. But looking for Thursday and Friday is this moisture coming up for Simon, bringing in some extra precipitation. Now, looking at our 7-day forecast for Tuesday, it's going to be beautiful with 62 chances of some rain, so it's going to be partly cloudy. But for Wednesday, it's going to be clearer skies with a high of 63. Thursday and Friday is going to be rainy. For homecoming, luckily it's going to be clear, so we won't have to worry about rain, but it is going to be cooler with a high of 56. And looking at Columbus Day, a high of 66, 30% chance of showers, so it's not going to be too bad for those days.
Thank you so much, Ellen. Ball State football suffered their 4th straight loss this Saturday at the hands of the Army Knights.
And men's and women's golf both opened tournaments this afternoon. Jacqueline Brazale has the details coming up next in sports.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jacqueline Brazale with your sports. Ball State returned to the gridiron this Saturday when they traveled to New York to take on the Army Knights. The Cardinals definitely needed the win, but the Knights handed Ball State their 4th consecutive loss. Army came out strong with 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter, both by A.J. Skur. After a 56-yard rushing touchdown by Ball State's Juwan Edwards, the teams traded field goals to go 20-10 into half. Down 18 points, Ball State mounted a comeback attempt. The Cardinals received 2 quick TDs thanks to another Edwards rushing touchdown and a 6-yard pass by quarterback Ozzie Mann. Mann was 18 for 26 with 173 yards on the day. Ball State got within 3 points of the Knights, but it was not enough as Army pushed for the final touchdown to end the game at 33-24. The loss drops Ball State to last place in MAC Conference, but look for your Cardinals to come out strong this homecoming weekend. Western Michigan will visit Cardinal Nation this Saturday. Kickoff is set for 3 p.m. Ball State volleyball was busy this weekend, taking on Eastern Michigan Friday and Central Michigan on Saturday. Against Eastern Michigan, Ball State fell behind 2-1, but strong defense led to the capture of 2 straight sets for the 3-2 win. On Saturday, the Cardinals handled Central Michigan in dramatic fashion. Haley Benson led Ball State's offense with 15 kills to help the Cardinals to a 3-1 win. Ball State will be back on the court Thursday to take on Toledo. Both men's and women's golf teed off tournaments in Ohio this afternoon with disappointing results. The women completed the first round of the Bearcat Classic, finishing at 11th out of 16 teams, at 22 over par. Ball State had 2 golfers finishing in the top 10, Jenna Hume, who finished 2 over par, tied for 4th place, and Allison Lindley, who sits tied for 7th at 3 over par. Just North Men's Golf opened the first 2 rounds at the Firestone Invitational. The men are coming off an impressive second-place finish at the Fighting Irish Classic, but did not fare well at the North Course. This afternoon, the men's team finished 11th in a field of 16 teams at 18 over par. The women will play a final round Tuesday morning, while the men will finish up tomorrow with a 3rd round that is set to start at 8:30 a.m. And Ball State's women's soccer team suffered their first home loss of the season, a 3-0 defeat to MAC rival Toledo. It was a rough day for the Cardinals, who gave up an own goal in the opening 5 minutes after another Toledo goal by Kirsten Johnson. Ball State head coach Craig Roberts was forced to pull starting keeper Brooke Dennis and give young freshman Alyssa Henschel some critical minutes in net. Ball State's offense wasn't able to generate any points, allowing one last goal by Hannah Scafari to end the game at 3-0. The Cardinals will be on the road for the next 2 weeks in a road game series. First up, the Ohio Bobcats. Both teams sit at 2-2 in MAC conference play and will be looking for a 3rd win this Friday at 4 p.m.
All right, thanks, Jacqueline. Coming up, we'll have your homecoming details for the entire week.
And you may need to find a new activity for your children to do on Saturday mornings. We'll have more details for you when we come back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Robin White with All Things Entertainment. It seems as if love remains in the air, but this time unlabeled, or so Raven Simone claims. The actress sat down with Oprah, clarifying as to what she meant by her tweet, "I can finally get married, yay government, I'm so proud of you." During the interview, she claimed that it was just her way of expressing that she is proud of her country. She also revealed that she is in an amazing relationship with a woman. But when Oprah popped the question, she said she didn't want to be labeled as gay. According to Raven, the only legitimate label she should have is being human. To see a citizen so proud should give the government some motivation. But yet, U.S. Supreme Court has rejected the same-sex marriage appeals in 5 states. Indiana happens to be one of them until further notice. At this point, unlabeled sounds about right. And finally, the week everyone has been waiting for is here. Homecoming week, that is. And there couldn't be a better way to kick off the other than having the one and only Juicy J pay a visit to Ball State. This week is going to be live. Better yet, this week is only preparing for this weekend's main event, the homecoming game, which will have everyone excited and on their toes. There's plenty of more events coming up, such as talent search, air jam, race, bed race, and several others to get your tickets, so while you can. It's homecoming week when spirits are high and time flies by, so try to get involved and have some fun. And who would think that the last, that's all folks, would be the final one? Saturday morning's cartoons are no more. According to Washington Post, CW, the last American broadcast channel, is still airing cartoons on Saturday mornings, has pulled the plug. Cartoons dominated Saturday mornings from the 1960s through the 80s, but the networks just couldn't compete with the cartoon channels on cable and satellite. Plus, kids' viewing habits have changed, thanks to new technology such as DVDs, DVRs, and streaming services. Final farewells to the cartoons on Saturday mornings. Sucks to say that that is truly all, folks.
All right, Ellen, can we take a final look at weather?
Yeah, absolutely. But the weekend's going to be a little chilly, but pretty.
Well, and in terms of same-sex marriage here in Indiana, in the next coming days, you'll see different counties issuing marriage licenses. They're still waiting on Attorney General Greg Zeller here in Indiana to instruct them. But some counties today started issuing those licenses as soon as the decision was passed down from the Supreme Court. So, and also David Long, the President Pro Temp of the Indiana Senate, telling the Indianapolis Star today that they will not be adding HJR3, the ban to Indiana's state constitution, anymore. That effort is done.
All right, thanks, Payne.
Well, that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana.